Welcome to D2 Destinations as we take the Norwegian Dawn on a magnificent trip through the British Isles. Starting in London, we see Big Ben and the changing of the guard. And then it's off to Dublin for the Book of Kells, the Guinness Storehouse, and the Temple Bar. And then we travel to Cork to kiss the Blarney Stone at the Blarney Castle. And then to Portland, we saw Dirtle Door and Corfu Castle. And then it was off to Omaha Beach, where we walked the shores of the D-Day invasion site. The scars of battle are evident everywhere. The next stop is Bruges. This is the land of chocolate and beer. There are also nice cafes for an afternoon tea. After Bruges, we traveled to Amsterdam, where we toured the Anne Frank house, and what a tour that was. And of course, you can't leave Amsterdam without visiting the red light district. After Amsterdam, we traveled to Copenhagen. What a beautiful time in Copenhagen. And last but not least, we traveled to Sweden and enjoyed the Swedish meatballs and took a tour of Styrso Island off the coast of Gothenburg. But our whole trip starts in London at the changing of the guard at Buckingham Palace. What a fabulous scene. And now for something to eat.
We are in front of Churchill Arms, the most photographed bar in all of London. Look how beautiful it is.
Good.
You walk in, it is really super cool. It's everything you would expect a London pub to be. So put this on your list. Must do.
So come inside as we tour this iconic pub. It is just amazing to think of all the people that have had a drink here and eaten here. But the big surprise is they only serve Thai food. You can't just take a girl to London and not let her go to Harrods. Harrods was an absolutely amazing experience with the chocolates and the perfumes and the jewelry, and the luxury goods go on and on and on. You could literally spend hours here.
Okay, if you love perfumes, there's not a better place in the world to be. We are at Harrods in the perfume department, and it is heaven. Every designer perfume you've ever wanted to smell, try. This is definitely what heaven smells like. Look at this place. Harrods it's amazing. I think I might want to die here, just in peace. It's wonderful. It's the best place on earth. We've had an amazing day touring in London, seeing some really cool things, and also having lunch at a iconic pub, and then to Harrods, little window shopping. And now we're off for a great history lesson as we head to the Churchill War Rooms. And we are very excited about this. It's great reviews. Tells a great story of what was a life-changing situation in history. So come with us.
Here at the Churchill War Room, it's amazing to see where they planned the strategies. And they had plenty of memorabilia of Winston himself. I did not know he took pilot lessons in this plane. This is his dining room, and you can see here his bedroom and his office. We arrived in London 2 days early before our departure on the ship and got to tour these magnificent taverns and see the sights that London had to offer. It was extremely enjoyable. But now it's time to board the ship and off to our next destination. We took the train to Southampton so that we could board the Norwegian Dawn. What a magnificent ship. This would be our home for the week with a balcony view. And there she goes, off and running. An important tip is to bring the appropriate adapters because you only get 2 outlets to charge all of your electrical items, so make sure you bring an adapter. There are many restaurants on board, including the Venetian. This is one that you can go to each and every day. They have wonderful meals here, but there are also specialty dining sites. We also toured La Cucina and Le Bistro. Le Bistro had fantastic seating, and what a wonderful meal we had here. And of course, after dinner, there's always the craps tables and a lot of other gambling to be had on the ship.
So we are here in Dublin, Ireland, and we decided to do the Book of Kells experience. So the question is, should you do this? Absolutely. There are only certain things in life that take your breath away. Statue of David, perhaps climbing the highest mountain, and this place is really super cool.
The Book of Kells is an amazing place to see, and the restoration that they've done on some of these masterpieces is just stunning.
And we just finished touring the Book of Kells at Trinity College. The question is, should you do it? Absolutely. It is wonderful. And you don't have to be a history lover or a book lover to appreciate what is inside this building. It'll simply take your breath away. So make sure you come, visit. It's worth the price of admission. You will not be disappointed.
St. Patrick's Cathedral, right in Dublin. Next up is the Guinness Storehouse, where the journey begins to show you how to brew their amazing beer. The reward at the end is a pint of Guinness with your friends at the rooftop. Hey, what just happened?
Alcohol abuse. They spilled this beautiful Guinness beer. Glass everywhere. And more importantly, beer. Beer that was not drank, it spilled.
Yeah, they definitely needed a cleanup on aisle 6. But that's what happens when you have this many people having such a great time. Up here at the rooftop, they keep the beer flowing, and you can walk around and see the panoramic views of Dublin. What a great time and a great experience. And this is how all of that magnificent Guinness gets rolled into the local establishments for all of the patrons to enjoy. And now to the Brazen Head. Deb, what do you think?
We are in the coolest bar. We're in the Brazen Head. And I gotta tell you, if you love historic bars, pubs, taverns, and also dive bars, bro, this is the one.
The Brazen Head is Ireland's oldest pub, established in 1198. You gotta have a pint here, and then we are off to the Temple Bar, one of my favorite places in all of Dublin. So, what do you think of this place?
I think I want to die and be buried here. This is like the coolest bar I think I've ever been to. It's happy, lots of beer, amazing whiskey, but really it's the vibe. The vibe is off the charts. I mean, every room is super cool, great live music, everyone's happy. This is the happiest place I've ever been.
Wow, was that fun. But now we have to take the train back to the port and get back on the ship. And you better get here a little earlier than what you think, because this line can be excruciatingly long. And we were there in plenty of time to get near the front, but you get on these little shuttle boats and they take you back to the main ship.
We have just completed our day in Dublin, and it has been a fantastic day, filled with lots of cool tours and walking along the streets and strolling through different neighborhoods, and of course visiting iconic pubs. This has been a great trip. If you're on a cruise stop in Dublin, there's lots to do, and there's lots of ways to enjoy it, and it's very easy to enjoy a great day because you can get on the ferry as we are now, get on the train from the cruise ship, very easy, and most importantly, you're going to have a great time.
The ferry ride back to the Norwegian Dawn was not very long at all, and actually they put these things right back on the boat for the next shallow port where they're required. And now, Cork, Ireland, and the Blarney Castle.
We're getting ready to go to see the Blarney Stone and climb 120 steps up on the castle. And we're very excited. I've been working out now for a few months so I could do this. And maybe a little nervous, but very excited.
And this is going to be great. We're going to go all the way to the top, get our photo, and come back down. And the grounds here are beautiful. If you're in Ireland, you certainly want to come, kiss the Blarney Stone, get the gift of gab, and it's going to be a great time.
So we are about to go up 120 steps to the Blarney Castle. First of all, the grounds are beautiful. The castle itself is pretty cool, but 120 steps. Is it worth it? We're about to find out.
And here's a great view of the castle on the way down. We were all the way up at the very top up there and kissed the Blarney Stone, and you had to really lean back. It was just amazing how far you had to lean back. And we're lucky today. It's not raining, it's bright and sunny, but it's only about 65 degrees or so. But everybody seems to be having a really good time.
Guess what? We just finished walking up the castle. We kissed the Blarney Stone and we walked through some beautiful gardens.
It was fantastic. Actually bent way over backwards and kissed the stone, got the photo of it. Man, this is a really once in a lifetime thing that I had on my bucket list for a long time. Glad we got it done. So now we're off to the tour bus and gonna see some more sights of Ireland.
And if you're in Ireland and you're in Cork, we definitely recommend doing this.
Absolutely.
It may sound somewhat touristy, but it's super cool. Make sure you do it. And I am on a tour bus right now, and I will tell you, this is the way to come and visit Blarney Castle and all of Cork. We've had the pleasure of hiring paddy wagon tours, and Kevin has been our illustrious driver. He's told us so many great things about the area, and I just thought you might want to meet Kevin, our driver. And also, he's been doing this for, I don't know, Kevin, how long?
10 years.
10 years, and you love it.
Absolutely love it. I wouldn't change it for the world.
So Kevin, tell us some interesting things about Cork that people should know that maybe they didn't know about.
Well, first of all, anyway, it's the friendliest city in Ireland. And if you were told that Cork City wasn't the real capital, you're wrong. It's the real capital. Not Dublin. Cork is the real capital. And there's loads and loads to do here in Cork. It's a great base. So if you came here to Ireland, it's a great place to stay because you can get anywhere in Ireland in 5 hours. You've got Jameson Distillery, the main Jameson Distillery, not the one in Dublin, the one here in Cork. You've got Cove Harbour, the last port of call of the Titanic, which is amazing. Loads of things to do down there. You could visit Spike Island. You could visit the Cove Cathedral, Cove Heritage Centre, all about the famine ships. You could come here to Blarney Castle, kiss the Blarney Stone. Why not? It's absolutely beautiful, and the gardens, stunning. Really, really nice.
He's right. We've loved the tour. We've loved having Kevin as our driver. We're so thrilled we hired paddy wagon tours. And I'll tell you what, this tour that we're on encompasses 3 really cool things to do. 1, obviously the Blarney Castle stop. 2, Kinsale, which I am very excited about. It's a foodie capital, isn't it?
It is, yes. The food capital of Ireland is Cork. And you can Google that yourselves, folks. Best fish and chips you'll ever get is in Kinsale. Absolutely amazing.
We're very excited about that. And of course, to grab a pint.
Yes.
And then we're going to end the tour where?
So we were in Kinsale for about 2.5 hours, maybe 2 hours. And then we head to lovely Cove. And lots to do in Cove before you go back on your ship.
It's a great tour. Paddy wagon tours, highly recommended. They're not paying us $1 for saying this. We're just like you. We're 2 people who went on vacation. We booked this tour, looked at some reviews on TripAdvisor and Cruise Critic, and decided this is a great way to spend the day for a cruise excursion. But really, you can book this tour whether you're doing a land trip or a cruise trip. This is a wonderful way to see this part of Ireland, and Kevin is your guy.
Dirtle Door on the Jurassic Coast is amazing. We took the high road and our friends took a boat ride to see this magnificent structure.
Alright guys, so the reason we come to this section here is because it gives us a good overall view of the Jurassic Coast here. Now, when those tectonic plates from North Africa actually hit southern Europe, not only did they create the Alps over there, but they affected just 95 miles of this coastline. This is the only coastline in the world with 3 different timelines. We've got the Triassic, the Jurassic, and the Cretaceous period all along this coastline here. Now, right in front of us, you can actually see Durdle Door. So we've got Durdle Door there. Now, how did that get there? Now, millions of years ago, that would have just been a series of caves going in. And then over time, it's all eroded away. Now, what's actually left there is this really tough rock, Purbeck stone and Portland stone. There could have been 2 or 3 archways there at one point, but we're actually left with this archway here. They think that's going to fall into the water around another 30,000 years, and then that will go in there. So we got here just in time. But you can see that line, that ridge, that would have been the original coastline there. Now, what we're actually stood on is part of the Southwest Coastal Path. It starts up here in near Swanage and goes all the way down past Cornwall and beyond there.
We're here with Terry and Hayes from Arkansas. They're on the same tour with us. How are you loving this?
This is amazing. It's breathtaking.
How about you, Hayes?
It's incredible to know that this was like from 160 million years ago. It's crazy.
We all feel the same way. We are stepping back in like way back in time to this historic beauty. It's amazing.
This is extremely popular with the youth, diving off of the cliffs and having a great time. When it's this warm out, a lot of people come out to the Jurassic Coast to soak in the beauty, the sunshine, and feel the heat while it's available. Unbelievable scenery, a lot of people around, and a must-see if you're in this area. The Jurassic Coast is amazing.
We are on our way to Cork Castle. We are in the most delightful little medieval village. It's incredible. This has been around since the 1500s, am I right?
Yeah.
And everywhere around you is just the most delightful, historic, wonderful place filled with all kinds of historic buildings and stories, and well, just come and join us on this tour.
The ancient entryway marks the entrance to an amazing place where they used catapults to defend it back in the day. And now we're going to hike all the way up that hill to the top. And then you can look back down over the entire village from up here. But the ruins of this castle are unbelievable. Just imagine what this looked like back in the day with all of the people that were inside of here protecting this land. Okay, now it's time to walk back down to the village to the Fox Inn, the oldest pub from 1568.
We are going to have a well-deserved pint at one of the oldest bars in the area. It's the Fox Inn.
Go ahead.
All right, one of the best things about traveling is all the cool people you meet. So we are at the historic Fox Inn, Fox Bar in Cork Castle. And guess what? I meet these lovely people from London. They take a 3-hour train to drink a pint of beer at a bar in Cork Castle. Cheers! This is how they study history in London. They drink beer in other bars.
Okay, and if you want the best of the fish and chips, you come to Weymouth. It's just outside of Portland in this quaint little town. But right here you have the fish and chips next to the bar, and on this little riverside, it is just idyllic. And the fish and chips, they're some of the best I've ever had. So Weymouth, outside of Portland, England, check it out if you're in the area. That's what you get for being on the wrong side of the bridge when the bridge goes up. So finally, the bridge came back down for the sailboats to go through, and now we're back on our trip to get in the van, and the adventure continues.
All of Fleet Street is made out of Portland. Parts of Buckingham Palace, Portland stone. The White Tower, the Tower of London, Portland stone. London Bridge, Portland stone. It all comes from here. So there you go. That's the importance of the old Portland stone. I thought I'd get that out of the way pretty quickly for you.
So it's pretty durable rock, huh?
It's unbelievable. Yeah, 3 of the reasons why they actually chose Portland stone. 1 is durability. It lasts a very long time. 2, because of the colour. The colour's a very white looking colour. And 3, you can actually make it look sort of very pretty. It's easy to work with. That's why it's on the fascia of these really distinguished
so that would
buildings.
explain too why.
Wow, so this is really pretty cool to see the perspective of how large their beach really is. We are in the entryway of their prison, and we are on top of Portland Island. You can see below our cruise ship, and just the perspective of this beautiful area is really interesting. We had no idea it even existed before we booked this trip, and I think everyone should visit. It's incredible.
The beaches of Normandy, Omaha Beach. There's a map here showing the different landing points, and this is the actual place where our troops came aboard and fought against these 135 millimeter cannons housed in these concrete bunkers that they had to face as they were storming the beaches. It's just an incredible place to see, with all of the pockmarks that are in the land and the cliffs that they had to come up over to invade this area was an absolutely incredible achievement.
It's an amazing place here when you see the beach behind me, and there's a memorial now set up to commemorate our brave soldiers who came ashore here to fight the Germans and take over this side of France. This is the sand that our troops came aboard with, and they had to take their heavy equipment across this, compact it into a really, really hard surface so that they could get the rest of their machinery up on this beach and then up over here, up the cliffs. And being here is just an amazing experience to see what these young kids really in 19, 20, some even a little younger, had to go through to make this happen. The whole invasion was just an experience, an operation that changed the world. And this is the sand that they were on to make all that happen. Unbelievable. Here we are at the Omaha Beach. They have a souvenir center set up, but just in case you're wondering how far Omaha Beach is from major cities, they got New York over 3,500 miles, Berlin, Paris, and Memphis. I guess Memphis is about 8,800 miles from here. And over on this side you have the gift shop, and in the gift shop you can get a bunch of great little trinkets to take with you wherever you may call home, and you'll always have that to remind you of the sacrifice that these young guys made 80 years ago this year, and what a tremendous feat it was for them to come ashore not knowing what to expect, just knowing they were going to have the fight of their lives. And here at the museum they have some of the tanks. This is the medium tank. It's a M4A1 Sherman tank, and that's a pretty famous tank from World War II.
Here we have the grounds and the memorial where thousands and thousands of our soldiers are buried. And this statue is appropriate, looking into the skies, and the amount of crosses that you see here is overwhelming in a lot of ways. It's pretty simple. You have one little shuttle that brings you from the boat right over to this cruise departure point where you get your ground transportation. That's what it looks like. And now we're on the shuttle for downtown Bruges. Beautiful little bridge crossing into city center. It's like you're stepping back into a Charles Dickens novel at this place.
So we are here in Bruges. We have about 6-7 hours on a cruise stop, and you're probably wondering, is that enough time? is plenty of time to enjoy a wonderful stroll through these amazing streets filled with cafes and shops and little taverns and even a beautiful church to come explore, museums. But the best thing you can do is speak to some of the locals like we did to discover this wonderful local area. It's a square. Look for the Simon Steven statue. And if you look around, we have the famous chocolatier, the chocolate line. You'll see shops and cafes all around. And then in the street just ahead of us, that's a local main shopping promenade. But look at this place. Here's the Manhattan Burgers, cafes, all around. Just wonderful. And of course, while you're here, you must take a canal ride. There's lots of little spots along the center, and you can pick any one of the boats. They'll take you around the beautiful city of Bruges. And I have to tell you, Bruges is a really delightful place for a wonderful full day of fun and great, great, great chocolate. So leave your diet behind.
Welcome aboard. It's a very, very international boat.
And of course, you must take a canal ride around Bruges. Your captain will take you through the canals and show you all of the highlights of the historic buildings and where they brewed the beer and where they have the best cafes. But really, you need to take one of these canal rides. It just gives you a relaxing way to see a lot of the city, which you probably would not otherwise see.
So all the happy flowers. And then the house in front of us decorated with the 7 works of charity. On top of the windows, the 7 works of charity. To have them at your gable, it's nice, but to put them into practice, that's even so much nicer.
So we've been strolling through the streets of Bruges, Belgium, and looking for a place to eat. Maybe you're here and you don't want a big, long, heavy lunch. So we found a great little burger spot in the heart of a local neighborhood called Manhattan Burgers. Yes, it's exactly what you think. They originated from New York, Manhattan, New York, out of a food truck. And they brought it here to Belgium, Bruges, and it is fantastic. Now, just so you know, we got the recommendation by a local who told us these are the best burgers in Bruges. So you know what? We had to try it out. And we had a wonderful manager here and a great staff that took wonderful care of us. So if you're in Bruges and you want a great outdoor lunch under a canopy of flowers and leaves and Market Square, here you go.
We're at the Chocolate Line, and it was a recommendation from a local where we ate lunch, and he told us to come to this shop because every other place in in Bruges, will buy their chocolate, but these guys actually make it here. You can see the chocolate being made inside, and you can taste it. It is
Outstanding.
Fabulous.
The variety of chocolates that they have here is absolutely stunning. If we go down this line right here, you can see all of the different flavors. White chocolate, dark chocolate. What do you think, Arlena? Is this great stuff or what?
Yeah, you could have chocolate overload just on the smell in here, let alone once you get in here.
Exactly.
Here we are at 2B, the only wall that unites people. Can't wait to have a pint or so.
Look at the cases on the side here. It's about every beer that they have. And I think it would take a while to drink all of this beer.
So once you walk by all of the cases of beer, you come to the back of the station where they actually serve the beer. Tell them what you want, they'll load it up, and you can go back out to the tables. And then when you're finished, you can return the beer.
Oh yeah, check this out. Watching Formula One in Bruges with a flight of beer and some light beers at a wall of beer. What could be better than that?
Something to know about Belgium. When they serve you a beer, they put it in its proper glass. Every beer has its own glass. So it's super cool. It's art. So my glass and my beer will be so far different than the person next to me. Whatever you want to drink in Belgium, as far as beers are concerned, they've got you covered. Cheers. We're in front of the Anne Frank house here in Amsterdam. It is just a haunting and moving experience for anyone who's read the book. It is just really incredible to be here. If you haven't read the book, I certainly recommend you do. Regardless, you need to make a visit to Anne Frank Museum if you're in Amsterdam. But here's a few things you should know. One, tickets sell out, so make sure you get tickets in advance of your trip here. And then once you get here, you'll actually be walking to this building and you'll be doing a tour in the original house with many of the original writings and just really so much history and perspective here. It's very moving. It made me choke up several times, but I hope that you will make time for this visit when you're here.
No cameras allowed inside, but an amazingly sombering experience that brings history to life. And now we're on the Kinboat Tour. It's a canal ride going all the way around Amsterdam. We've just finished the Anne Frank tour, and that was absolutely amazing. So what do you think so far, Deb?
I love Amsterdam. We've been here such a short time, but I'm in love with it. I can't wait to come back. The Anne Frank house was just wow. You know, it was just really an important part of this trip. But now we are on a beautiful canal in the heart of Amsterdam, a beautiful neighborhood, and we have lots to report. We're very excited and can't wait to go. All the way from America, Florida.
Florida. Where Florida are you from?
From Tampa, Florida.
Yeah, I don't know that one actually.
Well, I think you might know the Buccaneers, our football team, American football, played in London last year, right? We're on a cruise traveling through like several different stops.
Which cruise are you taking?
Norwegian, British Isles.
Yes. Really cool. First time in Amsterdam?
Yes.
You like it over here?
I want to come back already.
So now we're going to tour the city.
Cool.
Amsterdam is a beautiful city with the canals and so many bridges that you go beneath and see the different cafes and all of the architecture. It is certainly a land of bicycles and boats. That's the main way to get around, and some people live full-time on these houseboats. It's just an amazing experience and something that I think everybody should enjoy once in a while, and the cars are extremely small here.
You can see that they're rebuilding this entire house. However, they keep the facade of the house exactly the same. And that is because Amsterdam is part of UNESCO World Heritage. So the facade of the house needs to stay exactly the same. So I've seen this multiple times already, that they are removing the entire house except for the facade. And they start building a new house behind it. And the facade stays the same.
So we definitely recommend a canal ride, but now let's tour the city, and starting off with some magnificent cheese.
So we're in the cheese factory, and this young farmhouse cheese. They have small toothpicks for you, and you can take samples of all the cheeses in the entire place. Oh, fantastic. This is the famous corner for Winkle's apple pie. It is just an amazing concoction of not only the apple pie, but the cinnamon and the crust and whatever else they do to it. I don't know. But come on in. You're going to enjoy some apple pie. Okay, so if you want the best apple pie in the world, you come here to Winkle's when you're in the Netherlands. This place is absolutely fantastic. It's right on the corner. There's two green canopies out here, but it's honestly the best apple pie I have ever had in my entire life. What do you think about that, Deb?
I don't even like apple pie, and this was amazing. It's worth breaking your diet for sure.
No doubt.
And the bikes are everywhere. You can see the busyness of this city is just amazing. It is a city of boats and bicycles, and the coffee shops, it's not coffee, it's marijuana. Amsterdam was everything we had expected, and more. Back on board, you can have a cigar on your private balcony, or join the others for a drink, or see something in the Stardust Theater. We continue our tour to Copenhagen on the Norwegian Dawn. Oh, and here's a lovely couple ready to have fun. What do you say, guys?
No cameras, sir.
You up for it?
No cameras.
No cameras, no cameras.
cameras, sir.
Got it, cameras. No.
I'm having a great time. Good morning, Copenhagen. We are here in a really cool city, ready to embark on a great adventure.
We start our tour on a double-decker bus ride. It's a hop-on, hop-off, so you can see all of the different sites throughout all of Copenhagen.
We are at the Darling Bistro and Bar. It's a beautiful way to start the day. A couple of cold beers and beautiful Copenhagen, and about to see some cool things and have some cocktails and great food.
And while you're here, have a Carlsberg. Carlsberg beer is great.
That's fun.
All right, we just got a street Danish hot dog here in Copenhagen. I don't know what's on it. There's some pickles, looks like some onions, bacon, sauce. I don't know, but it is delicious. Woo.
I don't like hot dogs, but I love this.
Excellent.
Amazing.
This area of Copenhagen is Nyhav, and it is just an amazing place with the boats and the buildings, the restaurants, the bars, the ice cream, and just the architecture and the vibe that you get here. You can board one of the canal tours. It'll take you around the entire city so you can see all of the highlights from the boat, and then you'll come right back here and there are plenty of restaurants to choose from. And if you're in Copenhagen, I highly recommend this area. You will not be disappointed.
Out of the World Theatre here in Copenhagen. The building opened its doors back in 2008. What they soon realized after the building's opening was that if the actors and actresses could look on to the citizens of Copenhagen while they were changing, the citizens of Copenhagen could look right on back. Der lige siden da har kendt episoden her som Hovsalvisi.
Copenhagen is beautiful, and this
It's amazing, isn't it?
tour that we're on is so cool.
I love this.
And,
This is
people are
great.
nice.
It's just beautiful architecture and the older boats and just the waterways. And the temperature is just, what, like mid-70s, no humidity whatsoever, bright and sunny. So, hey, why not, right?
Yeah, it's not everyone's story, but it's certainly our story.
Yeah.
So that when it became time to find a model on which he could base his statue, he decided to ask one of the most famous ballerinas in all of Denmark to be his model. The ballerina, thinking that this was merely a ploy to get to see her naked, said, "I will model for you, but only with my face." To this, the artist panicked, because who was going to be the rest of the statue then? That was until his wife said, "Don't worry, I got this."
Other options of tours include these smaller boats, or you can get on one of the larger canal tours like we're on. They'll take you by all of the best cafes and sites to see. You can even take a kayak if you want, but I would recommend being on one of the better private boats with a meal, and the sights you see are terrific.
Brown brick building to the left of it. That is Nyhavn number 67, the old residence of Hans Christian Andersen, the Danish author. Now, he moved here to Copenhagen originally to pursue a career as a ballet dancer. However, when he turned up for his audition, he was told he was simply too ugly and too clumsy to become one. Instead, he tried out his luck as a fairy tale writer, and as we all know, that went a whole lot better. We are almost back at our dock here in Nyhavn, which unfortunately also means that this is going to be the end of our tour. I hope you all enjoyed it. I know I certainly did. And I wish you all a wonderful day and a wonderful stay here in wonderful, wonderful Copenhagen. Thank you all so much for your attention, and have a lovely day.
This is where Hans Christian Andersen lived and wrote many of his stories. It now has a cafe.
Younger than the mountains, running like a race. Country road, take me home to the place where I belong, and West Virginia, and mountains far on, and take me
What do you think of that?
That crashed me up. All the way in the Netherlands, in Copenhagen. And this man is singing Country Roads. I gotta love this place.
Strolling down the cobblestone walkway, we found this delightful little restaurant. And this is our table for two for the evening. There's a lot to be said of having a great meal by the water with someone playing music and just watching all of the people go by. What a magical, magical place.
Best ice cream shop in Copenhagen. Right here. You gotta see this place. It's absolutely amazing. It's the Copenhagen. Come right down here. If you could only smell the waffle cone smell in this place. Unbelievable. The nightlife here is fabulous. The restaurants are divine.
This is Copenhagen's train station where you board for your tour out to Gothenburg. It's about a 3 to 3.5 hour trip.
Coffee yet?
The train is extremely comfortable and it makes the trip a joy. Riding through these rolling hills reminds me of northwestern Pennsylvania, where my family is from. My grandmother came over from Sweden and her parents always said Corey reminded them of Sweden.
We are now in Sweden. We bought our 2 tickets to head over on the tram to the ferries. We're going to be doing a ferry ride to one of their islands, and we are so excited. This is Denny's heritage, so of course he's extremely excited. And we're joining. Let's go. Come with us.
Nice weather. Then they're going out in the morning and coming back now.
Oh,
That's
okay.
why. Otherwise, it would.
What an amazing day. I don't like to use the word idyllic often because I think you should reserve it for those places that are extra special. Well, guess what? We found perfection today. Sweden, amazing. The island of Styrso, I can't say it too well, was fantastic. Right behind me is the Swedish flag. And if you come to Gothenburg, please come here. I beg you. It is a beautiful island on the coast of Gothenburg, easy to get to, and it is paradise found. It really is a very special place. I wish I had extended my stay longer here. It is just, it's serene, it's beautiful, it's perfection. And I want to thank our friends Jennifer and BG for recommending this fantastic place. This is wonderful. Thank you for the tip. We'll be back, and hopefully with you. I don't want to leave Sweden. You've stolen my heart. Gothenburg, please, let me live here. It's fabulous. Gothenburg, Gothenburg, Sweden is perfection. Probably the highlight of this trip. And we didn't even plan it till like, I don't know, when? A couple days ago?
Yeah.
You
couple
can
days
do
ago.
it.
Come quite a long ways in just a couple days, yeah.
Fantastic.
It's been fantastic. Great boat ride. Got to ride the bikes around the island. And now we got to get on a train to get back to the city.
Wow, what a trip. All the way from London and ending up in Sweden. We're taking the train back now to Copenhagen, where we'll fly back to the United States from Copenhagen. But thank you for coming along with D2 Destinations on this British Isles tour. We hope to see you next time. Take care. Please remember to like and subscribe. Thank you for watching.